as I leave Ginzan Onsen. It is a madhouse here. There are so many tour buses coming in, dropping off gaggles of people, and everybody's just like walking around, which is interesting. I wonder if they're here to actually use the spa, or if they're here just to see the area and then walk back. Like, I couldn't imagine coming out here only for like an hour or something like that. That's so short. But the place was amazing. We woke up at 7:30 this morning. Breakfast was at 8. Breakfast was amazing. Very traditional Japanese breakfast. 2 soups, a bunch of different accoutrements. Like, it was fantastic. When after breakfast, we walked around a little bit more. Walked over to the silver mine. 1 hour is definitely more than enough to explore the area currently. Everything was closed, so, as in all the paths, I should say. I hope Kusatsu isn't like that. I guess that's a little foreshadowing of where we'll be going. Right now, we're going to be headed back to Sendai. It was a ton of fun. Like, walking around, using the onsen. Oh, I did use the onsen last night. It was extremely hot. It was nice, but Lynn was like it was too hot for her, and she actually came back to the room super fast. She like only just left, I felt. And so Ben and I actually just hung out in the onsen for a lot longer. I don't know if you can see it, but there's snow all around, which made it really cold here. And then staying at the inside the onsen was quite nice because it was really warm. I believe turning on the AC though, I actually ended up turning on the heater, making the room a little bit hotter than we wanted it to be, which is weird. Like perceived hotness, I guess you could say. But overall, time here is amazing. All the buildings are so magical looking, and the difference between night and day when you're walking around is so crazy. Oh, almost to the car. To walk up a mountain. And so, seeing the way that everything is lit at night with gas lamps is really cool. There goes a tour bus, followed by a tour van. But yeah, everything here was just so cool looking. And the food was amazing. Oh, I was talking about breakfast. They did have like the fish that they provided, and then seaweed, a whole bucket of rice, 2 soups, and then all these different pickled and cooked vegetables, which were all just amazing, and then an onsen tamago, or like a soft-boiled egg. That was really good. Overall, fantastic stay. I definitely could see why people would stay more than 1 day here, but if you're in a rush, just 1 day is fine. Anyhow, check back in a moment. And welcome back. Currently, I am at Sendai Castle, or the ruins, and the ruins are in front of me, and the statue of Date Masamune is behind me. The famous statue that everyone comes to Sendai to see. But that being said, we left Ginzan Onsen in Yamagata, drove about an hour and a half, and made it back into Miyagi Prefecture, back into Sendai really. And we started by going over to the Osaki Hachiman Shrine. That was really pretty. They had a lot of rules about photography and videography, so I didn't actually get that much footage. We just paid our respects there, walked around a little bit. It was only listed to spend about 15 minutes there, in which I feel that we did. And then we hopped into the car and came over here. It was pretty crazy because I believe we drove by Tohoku University, like through the middle of the university. That was nuts. There was so many students everywhere, bike riding and everything. It was pretty crazy. I think that was more intense than the hour and a half drive here through the mountains. One really neat thing is once you get from the Yamagata side to the Miyagi side, you do notice that a lot more pine trees and evergreens start to pop up, as opposed to the more, whatever the bonsai trees are. Those, they seem to have a lot of in Yamagata, at least what I saw along the side of the road. Getting up here, we found the parking lot just right behind me, really. It's about 80 meters, I think it was said, to my left. And parking is 600 yen for the first hour and then 300 yen for every hour after. We parked, went and got lunch at the Alba food court, which we just got something pretty basic. A pork bowl, Miyagi pork bowl, I believe is what it's called. And then each one of us got something kind of different as a second. I got the Sunda shake, which is like the Sunda mochi, which is famous here, which is the mochi that has edamame on it. Instead of it being on mochi, it was inside of a shake, which that was really nice. Lynn got a gyutan shumai, and Ben got a curry pan with Sendai beef in it. And all of it was delicious. Lynn's currently not feeling all so hot, and I might have caught whatever she got. Feeling like a little tickle in the back of my throat and in the top of my nose. So hopefully that with some meds and some vitamin C, that'll go away. But oh, it's so bright here. That being said, we ate and then walked over here 80 meters away over to see the statue and an amazing view of the city. The city view is incredible from right here. And then obviously the castle ruins, which it's funny because they have a VR headset that you could rent to kind of have this virtual experience of what the castle looked like, because it's just stones in the ground and marker placements to show what room they thought was where. Not all that much going on other than that. There is a temple here that I offered Lynn and Ben to go into if they wanted to. We have something kind of special coming up here, which is an hour's drive away though. And so there are a few more snacks that I want them to try inside of the souvenir shop over here. So I'm debating what are we gonna do from this point forward. We'll definitely figure that out and report back. But yeah, this place is super peaceful. It gets like noisy because a ton of people will all of a sudden show up. And then it just gets dead quiet again because then everybody leaves. So it's definitely like tour buses coming through. But that being said, we'll go ahead. Oh, for the Hachiman Shrine, I didn't mention this. It is Date Masamune's dedication to Sendai. And it's because of that, it's actually, there's 3 gods that they pray to there. And it's pretty impressive. The thing is really well made. I think it was Motoyama is the style of which it was built, which was done by Hideyoshi Toyotomi. Like he requested that it be made that way. But the shrine is gorgeous. And one side note, there's chickens there. I am not 100% sure why, but there are live chickens that just roll around, as well as live cats. And so it is part of the shrine, and I found it to be pretty amazing. Just wanted to make sure I got that note in before signing off here at Sendai Castle, or Aoba Castle. Anyhow, we'll check back in a moment. And welcome back. I'm at the Raikyu Gorge. We had to do a sudden change of plans. Traditionally, we were supposed to go to the Funaoka slope car at the Funaoka Park, which is supposed to be about an hour's drive away. The greatness of it is that it is a cable car that goes at the height of the cherry blossoms. So as the cherry blossoms are going, you're actually going right in between all of them, which is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, they decided this year that they were going to go ahead and renovate it, and it is out of commission currently. So, that being said, kind of made a quick choice of just coming here to the Raikyu Gorge. We're currently at the train station that used to be in the area before they removed it, but across the street, right over here, right there, is the gorge. And it is gorgeous, pun intended, right? It's pretty sweet. They have a thing called the Lover's Port or Portal, which is a heart-shaped kind of hole in a rock where you're supposed to throw a 1 yen coin to prove your love, I suppose. They also had a God's Rock, which is this rock in the middle of the gorge. I don't know how well it's going to come out of the video because it's pretty far away, but it's split cleanly into two in the middle of the gorge, which is pretty awesome. And then before we actually went to the gorge, we actually walked over to the info center for the gorge and walked around and kind of looked at. They're really proud of their train system that no longer exists here. And so there's actually a ton of information about that. They also had information about local traditions and festivals as well, which is cool. We, just walked around there, got our stamp, and then went over to the gorge before making our way over across the bridge and across the street to this train site. And after this, I think we're headed on to the hotel before going to get dinner and kind of calling it an early night. Yeah, there's not much else. We've pulled 2 things from tomorrow, so I guess everything tomorrow will be moved up as well. The only debate is whether we should do laundry tonight or tomorrow, and I'm thinking that we do it tomorrow. I will go ahead and say we will see you in a moment here as we go off to our next spot. Back in a sec. And welcome back. We are sitting at the Jal Hotel in Sendai. After leaving the Raikyu Gorge, we went over to Saichi Market. That is actually a famous market here. I saw it on a Nogizaka 46 show, where they're famous for ohagi. And one of the cool things about it is that on the weekends, they actually are so busy that people are coming in from other prefectures, so they're driving in from quite far away to actually just get these desserts. We were just right next to it because the Raikyu Gorge is literally just about a 5-minute drive from there, so not bad. After going to the supermarket and grabbing the ohagi, we came back here to the hotel. That was very purposeful. We're all very tired. And we went to, was it Shiohama? Or Shirahama? I think Shirahama Ko is the restaurant name. I'll have to write it down if I got it wrong. But the name is based off of the port that's right next to Matsushima. And the reason the name is based off of that port is because they serve sushi that comes directly from that port. It is the largest maguro, or tuna, fishery in all of Japan, and they get their fish fresh from there. It just so happens that about 2 nights ago, I met a gentleman named Ichiro on our way out to go get dinner, and he's the one that suggested a beef tongue barbecue joint for us. So after that, he's like, if you guys are interested, we have some of the best sushi in the country. We're highly rated on Tabelog. And we went over to his restaurant today to check it out. Lynn put it the best as the place looks very sterile on the inside. It didn't really look like a restaurant. And it used to be a rotating sushi place, but they no longer have the rotating portion. You just order straight from them and they kind of serve it to you. They do have a iPad that you could order everything from, which was kind of nice. Unfortunately, I got the dates mixed up. I told Ichiro that we're going to be there tomorrow. And unfortunately, because I got that mixed up, we had to go today. Otherwise, we weren't going to be able to eat there at all. And I didn't want that to happen, so we went today. he unfortunately was off. So I just told the boss, don't worry about it. Because after we ordered and everything, I wasn't trying to get anything out of him. I was like, hey, is Ichiro here? You know, we were already getting our food. And the boss, it just so happens that I was a manager. I didn't know. It was just some guy that was randomly walking by at the moment, an employee that I thought, and it ended up being the store manager. He's like, oh, no, he's not here. Why? Do you know him? And I was like, oh, we met him the other day, and we chat, and the reason we're eating here is because he said he'd be here, but, you know, I think that was supposed to be for tomorrow. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, he got off at 5 o'clock today. It's like, oh, that's too bad. All right, well, you know, next time then, I guess. And he walked off, and he called Ichiro, and Ichiro happily came back to the store to sign on again, even though he just did a full shift, to come like serve us sushi and stuff and chat with us and kind of enjoy his time. And we enjoyed our time. Really felt like we were just shooting the breeze and eating, and it was a real good time. I feel everyone at the table was having a great time. We got a ton of sushi, and for as much sushi and sake, everything at like, okay, I should say this. Ichiro did give us some free stuff, so we did. It wasn't everything, because the price was like $60, and we got enough sushi for 3 people to be full. But he did throw in a few dishes for free. He's just like, do you know what this is? You should try this. And then he also recommended a great sake for the table, which the name slips me right now, and so highly recommended. It was sweet and not dry, so it was really nice. It was smooth. It was very pleasant. After finishing up dinner, we then went to go walk the local Shotenkai that's here, where we kind of ran into a Don Quixote, and we went in there, and Ben and Lynn both bought some souvenirs, stuff that they could find at Donkey. And then when we left Donkey, we went across the street to an arcade to play a couple of games. Before Lynn went to go try to get something to drink. Oh, no. We then went from the arcade to a capsule store, one of those gacha stores where it's just full of coin-operated machines for you to kind of get your prizes. And Lynn left early to go get something to drink. I just thought she went to the cafe across the street, so I went in and ordered a coffee there and had that for kind of that late night snack before finding out Lynn was actually across the street at a drugstore just buying a bottle of oolong tea. We then met back up and walked back to the hotel, which we are here now. We did try the famous ohagi just now from Saichi's. It was delicious. There are 3 flavors that it comes in. Red bean, kinako, which is a soybean, like a roasted soybean flour, and then black sesame. And all 3 of us agree that the black sesame is where it's at. Like, the 3 flavors are good. I was hoping the kinako would have been better, but being that it was just it was a little dry in my opinion. It just made the black sesame all that much better. It was like the perfect flavor. So we just finished all those, enjoyed them, and now it's time to go to bed. I am dead tired. And I will say that like we got up quite early today, like 7:30ish. So it's been a long day. Tomorrow's gonna rain, so we don't know for sure what we're gonna be doing yet, but we will figure that out when the time comes. Anyhow, it's been fun. Have a good night, and I will see you in the morning or in the next video. Alright, and hello. Obviously, this is editing Charlie from the future. I realized that I never did a room tour of the JAL Hotel in Sendai. I actually did the room tour, I just never mentioned it, I should say. Because of that, I want to go ahead and include it right here. Figured I'll just cut in at the very end right here to finish off the video. The room is not that fantastic, but it is like somewhere that we stayed. It's the last night we're staying in Sendai. So why don't we just go ahead and get right to it. All right, and here we are in the room. The hallway or the elevator's right there. comes up, and we are in room 326. And as you come into the room, there is an immediate closet, although if you do that, it does get in the way of the door, so this does have to be closed. We do have some slippers. They have a press, that's kind of cool. Weird arrangement of the coat hanger, rather than going this way, it goes in to the wall. It's not that deep, maybe about a foot. And then come over here to the restroom. There's a step there. Just your basic, I mean, at least the sink and the tub have a different faucet deal. But overall, okay. This is just your basic business hotel. It does have a smart toilet, which is kind of nice for one of the fancy toilets. Over here is the coffee and tea bar area. It does look like we have a hot water boiler, ice pail. There is our fridge. Oh, with water in it, so we do have some water. It's nice. Then the luggage tray, a little chase, I think that is, and then a chair, table, our TV area right here, and then the 3 beds. That's practically the room, and I think actually, yeah, turning around here, there goes to the door. That's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and go back to the other angle to finish up the night. And so, as you see, the room's just your standard room. Because it's our last night here in Sendai, I wanted something that was easy and close to the station. That way, after we return the car tomorrow, we could actually just go and get to the station and hop on out to Utsunomiya, which is, we're going back to Tochigi. And I believe I mentioned this when we were last in Utsunomiya. There we'll be renting another car. The whole idea is I don't want to have to spend money on driving all the way down, when just getting a train ticket and sitting on the train was a lot easier. Also, kind of a hidden cost that we weren't expecting. Like, I thought the hotel provided parking for free. They don't. There is a slight charge on parking here, but they have one of those cool parking garages where it's like an elevator. You park the car inside the elevator and it rotates in and out. There are no in and out privileges, so once you're in, and we kind of just did that when we came back to the hotel. Figured we're just leaving it there for the night. We're not really going to be going to do anything else other than going to get dinner and walking in the arcade as we did. But yeah, that's our night here in Sendai, and we will go ahead and see you in the next video.